ground shake.
So what's going on, guys? So we are here looking at the new 2019 GMC Sierra pickup truck. This is a really great truck for people who need a truck they can use in the field, a truck they can use for construction, lawn care, landscape. And let me show you a couple great features that make this a really useful product.
All right, guys, check it out. Oh. What? Check that out, pretty cool.
It's a tailgate in a tailgate.
I like it.
By the way, I am JD with Big Truck, Big RV, and this is my really, really good friend, Brian.
What's up, brother?
Not much, man. It's finally good to meet you. Thanks for letting me hold your camera.
You are the man behind the camera right now. I love it. So if you guys don't know JD, Big Truck, Big RV, he's the guy I get a lot of my truck information on. We're at the 2019 NIAS Detroit Auto Show. He's gonna do a walk around on this truck and a couple other ones. So by the way, if you guys haven't seen JD on his channel, make sure you head over there by the end of this video. But JD, take it away. You have some good thoughts on this truck. I wanna know what you know. So what do you got?
So first of all, you got a couple friends with you today.
What's up, guys?
How you guys
Mike
doing?
and Brandon.
I'm sure you recognize us.
You got the amigos.
I've actually seen these guys on your channel. I watch your channel. I'm a big fan of your channel. And
Sure.
I'm a big fan of your work ethic. I think that growing a business and helping it expand is definitely a lesson that kids can learn nowadays, especially if they're trying to get started with their own financial future and come into their own.
Sure.
At the same time, you know, it's an area in our lives that anytime somebody's willing to come out and give business development and growth information, it's worth listening to, right?
Definitely,
Right on.
absolutely.
Absolutely.
So I know you're a Chevy guy.
Yes, sir.
Right? And what the number one question you may ask about this truck is, how can I use this in a lawn care landscape environment? How can it benefit me? Before we get into the obvious benefits of having a tailgate in a tailgate, right? The ability for you to use that as a step. Three of you guys want to jump up there real quick? Before you do, let's pull up the handle here.
Do I have one on this side?
Just one on this side.
Sir?
It's still nice.
Oh. Wow.
It's easy
Nice
to
and easy.
access.
Hold my phone, I'm wearing my skinny jeans, you know what I'm saying? My legs are getting bigger.
Wow.
Brandon said my legs are getting better. I've been working out.
There you go.
Getting
So
bigger.
you guys fit comfortably inside of the back of the truck. Bounce up a little bit in unison. All right. You guys feel the bouncing there, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Bouncing, that's typical half ton. So if you want to know the difference between a half ton and a 3/4 ton when it comes to hauling lumber, hauling rock, stone, whatever you might need, the biggest one's going to be your softer suspension. So that's an area, if you're going to be hauling heavy payload, you might want to avoid a half ton, look at maybe a 3/4 ton. But if that's not an issue, let me show you one thing you want to be super careful of if you're looking at this truck with this tailgate. Hop on down.
You got these huge quads, you know, it's just
Huge quads.
huge quads.
massive
It's
calves.
meat.
All right, Brian, if you could, I'm going to volunteer you to close the tailgate. The way you're going to do that is just flip this bottom step up. There you go, lock in place, and pull the whole assembly up all together. So now you have closed and secured the tailgate.
Yes, sir.
Now, we didn't put the handle down, but that's not important for this little instructional video, I guess.
Sure.
You tow trailers. You tow
Yes.
trailers? You tow trailers.
Yes, sir.
Do you leave your trailer hitch in the back of your truck?
You do. Yeah.
You do.
All the time.
Now you throw a trailer hitch in there, right? Go through the artificial representation of putting an invisible trailer hitch in. It's kind of heavy. It's kind of heavy. It's heavier than that. A lot heavier than that. All right. Now put it in. Don't forget the hitch pin and the clip on the end. Okay, we're good. Hook up your trailer brakes. Trailer brakes. That's not your brakes. Okay, now your chains.
I'm an actor.
Yep.
Give me
Make
my
sure you
lines.
cross those chains.
Yeah, you need to cross the chains.
If it's a Ford, it's too big.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Did somebody
right.
check the brake lights?
Coming from the side.
Are you standing in the A-frame of the trailer right now? All right, we're in good shape
I
now.
don't get pinched.
We are in good shape now. So you have a trailer hitch back there. Now I need someone to stand right here. All right, now that you're right here, duck down, get real low to the ground.
Like spot?
Yep, a little further back so the tailgate doesn't hit you.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Okay, now go ahead and press those two buttons if you don't mind, Brian. Now let's assume you had a hitch inside there.
Okay.
You gotta press the other one, you didn't press hard enough.
I did hit both.
Let's start both at the same time.
To see if that interferes.
There you go.
Oh,
That's a big problem.
Now what would happen?
You would damage this vehicle, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's so nice.
That's no bueno.
It's a cool feature that suddenly became not a cool feature.
I'm not saying it's a bad feature. It was definitely designed to offer a more convenient way of getting into and out of the truck. And real quick, you have to swing this down while the tailgate's open. It's a great feature to get into and out of the truck, but my fear is in a working environment where you guys are having to load things in the back constantly, move in and out of the back. You may want to use this as a convenience measure, but then what happens if you forget to take your hitch out?
Right.
It could kind of be an expensive mistake.
Is there on the key fob? I'm always curious because I have a tailgate release that will drop it, and I'm always nervous when I hit that when I'm at a restaurant if my trailer's hooked up, because there's been times I came out because it's bumped in my pocket and the tailgate's down, but I have a setback jack. But not every trailer's like that, which always makes me really nervous.
Doesn't the Ford though? Don't they have it comes out of the top of the tailgate? You pull out and then it slides down, so it would avoid that.
So the Ford has a tailgate step, or AKA the man step, and it does avoid that because it goes behind the area. And guys, I'm not saying this is a bad design. I'm just saying if you get this, you really have to consider if you're using it in a work environment that I don't think you're being. You know, I don't think it's because you're not paying attention or because you're being careless. I think accidents happen when you're working and when you're busy and when your mind's focused on something, and that to me seems like a potential for an accident.
Yeah, and that's why I use the term that could take a really cool functional feature and make it really not cool when you don't realize it, you're busy, we're all going a million miles an hour, and then that happens, you've got the hitch in, and you take it up and all of a sudden you've got a nice big ding in your brand new vehicle.
And I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy a GMC because of that. I'm saying you might want to consider not having that type of tailgate.
Right.
Even though it really looks good, it shows really well, people moving in and out of it, there's a lot of value to it.
Sure.
But again, just be careful over that one feature. Overall though, there's a lot to like about this truck. One feature that I think Ford and Ram should have integrated into their trucks a long time ago, but GM and Chevy have done, is the side corner tailgate step.
Yeah.
To me, that bumper step is a very useful product to have on there.
Especially when you're a shorter guy like myself and you got the little stubby legs and you're trying to hop in.
My 250, I can barely even get in, and I'm 5'10", 11.
Well, I think even you noticed that feature on my truck, and it was
it.
you, and I have another buddy that also is a Ford. He has a 150, and he said the same thing. He said, I wish Ford did that.
Totally.
Like the Chevy did.
Well, and think about it from this perspective too. With my Ford, oftentimes I'm backed up close to things. I drop my tailgate down. If I can't pull out my tailgate step, I can't get in the bed of my truck very easily. It's very high and hard to get into. Go ahead and drop the tailgate again.
Both?
Yeah, both buttons. Or just one, it doesn't matter. Okay, that's fine. So we have the main tailgate down, which is what I wanted to see. But now, utilize the step to get into the bed.
Without the handle or with the handle?
Without the handle.
Because this is what I do to get in my truck.
Yeah.
And if you're going to be getting in and out of your bed, that can be very useful, almost in any work environment.
Yep, and that's what I have on my truck, and I definitely like that option.
So that's not something you're going to find on Ford. Ram does have the option to have the little amp step that folds down off the back corner. So that can come in handy, and aftermarket steps are available from AMP as well. So you can buy a step that comes down so you can get into the back of your truck easier. But I like the fact that GM went the extra step and just put that technology in there. You know, some aftermarket bumper manufacturers kind of do the same thing. I think it's a very useful product.
I like it.
Well, yeah, something else that's very nice about this truck, and definitely would be a huge improvement from the previous model, is the use of better LED lighting. So the lighting package on these new trucks is really fantastic. They've gone such a long way in improving how bright it is, how much light it casts on the road, the visibility at night. You really can't get a better lighting system on a truck than you can in 2019 and beyond. And it's going to be a vast improvement over the 2017 and older model trucks.
Definitely. On my 14, I do have the standard yellow lighting, and that is huge. Being in your truck and then going into mine, my truck does have a small lift on it, so it might interfere with that, but sometimes it's like, are my headlights even on? You know what I mean? I can't really see too far ahead of me like I could with that LED lighting.
Yep, and you know, when we talk about Ram trucks later, that's something to also key in on, because the new Ram trucks actually have adaptive lighting where they can turn and they can adjust up and down depending on the payload in the back. That's kind of a feature that you've seen pretty standard on vehicles like Infiniti, Lexus, some higher end vehicles where they've had that adaptive lighting system. Absolutely.
As a single male, Brandon appreciates the backseat.
So Brandon, you have now hopped into the back seat of this 19 Sierra. Leg space, knee
Very
space.
comfortable. So I know for sure when I get in the back of my truck, is this like the full-size 4-door?
This is the crew cab.
This is the crew. Okay. See, so when I get in my truck, I know for a fact that this seat is about a good 6 inches or so closer to my knee than I am in this truck. So this is nice, having all this extra space, especially with me, because now it's like a commercial vehicle, so I have all my tools and stuff in the back. So the extra space, you can never go wrong with that, definitely.
Absolutely, and you can use the back for true storage. So if you were to hop out, which I'm not asking you to do yet, but if you were to hop out, you can fold the seat up and you have even more space here to put whatever you need. Even if you have to put a big crate, a large toolbox, storage box, things that you want to keep out of the bed, it's a great place to store it. Now, welcome back air conditioning vents. They've been absent from GM trucks for a long time.
I do not have those in my truck. I don't even have like cup holders like I do here in my truck. Everything's right in the front. So.
And that is definitely a welcome feature to bring back. Again, when Chevy engineers and GM engineers designed the interiors of these trucks, a lot of times they base it on the engineering specs. How much airflow can we get from the front to the back? Okay. What sometimes they don't know is what it's actually going to be like for the consumer sitting in the vehicle on a hot day. And getting direct airflow on you as soon as possible is something that you definitely want, whether it's hot or cold air.
Right.
Yeah, look at this raised roof. Do you see this? This raised roof spot, that's another 4 inches of headroom, 3 or 4 inches.
So they've raised the roof for a couple different areas. First of all, because a lot of the body is now high strength steel, they're able to have the tolerances much closer, where in older trucks you had to kind of create this rigid cross beam of structural supports to really give the roof section its strength. On this truck you don't really need to do that because they've integrated high strength steel into areas that allow you to have thinner sections like this. It doesn't have to have the spacing, and it gives the spacing they need for the sunroof right here to retract in. Now something you probably didn't know about, or you might have, is if you hop out, one of the coolest features, and I absolutely love this, look at the back where your back would sit on the seat. You see a little flap there? Pull that out.
What is this?
Little extra storage.
So those are storage pockets behind the seats. Now, thieves will probably figure out where those are at some point, but the reality is that is a great place to store stuff if you're going to hop in, or if you leave your truck parked while you're doing some work.
So you could even hide that little tab, and it looks like it's just kind of integrated, eh?
Exactly. Just got to pull from the tab.
For it. There you go.
What is this, amateur hour?
That's cool. I did not know that. So this is only in the newer models?
Correct. This is a 2019 feature.
That is really cool. How's the front? I haven't even seen the new one.
Yeah, let's move to the front seat.
Fidel, you getting in the back seat?
Absolutely.
DFL, man. Knocking some.
You know, this is one thing I do gotta say. I get a lot of hate from people because I don't have this full center console. A lot of guys love this extra bit of storage here.
Oh, you don't have this thing?
No, I don't.
This is like a $500 option price.
Right. You have this.
I do.
In yours, yeah. They're nice. I wish I had it in mine. Yeah.
It's full of junk. I need to get it vacuumed once in a while. That's a huge compartment. So this is the 2019 Sierra.
Correct. And something that you're going to like that was a big change between 18 and 19 is, where's your trailer brake controller on your truck?
Well, I had to get one installed, so mine is right here.
Okay, otherwise it would have been up here.
Sure, yep.
And now they've moved it to a much more convenient spot right there near your leg.
Okay.
Oh, that is convenient.
I think that's where it is on the Ford? Or I think mine's on the bottom left.
Both Ford and Ram have it in the same general area as well. But it's definitely the most convenient spot to have it, so that is a really good change.
I like that.
This is clean. You know, I like the Sierras. I actually did. I do.
Is that like 12 volt and then
USB?
So you're going to have your 12 volt, you'll have a 110 outlet right there, a 120 outlet, and then a USB-C and your standard USB connection.
All right.
And because this is a Denali, you're not going to have any blank spots up there. All your buttons will function, and they're going to have really good features associated with them.
It'd be kind of silly if you had a blank button up here that didn't do anything, you know what I mean? But
sometimes. I've talked about that, right?
I think so.
Overall, guys, this is a beautiful truck. I really like what they've done. The interior isn't a huge departure from the previous body. I think they did that because a lot of the GM owners that they polled said they really liked the overall layout. And I guess that's a good question for you. When you get in your truck, do you like how it's laid out? Do you like the form, the fit and finish, the feel?
This is much nicer than my truck. My truck, like I said earlier, was really similar to the interior of like that 6500. It's just pretty standard, pretty plain. This is nice though. I like all the extra textures and the stitching.
But it still feels familiar, right?
Yeah,
Hopping in it. You instantly can identify it as either a Chevy or a GMC.
Yep, exactly.
This seems kind of bland, in my opinion, generally speaking. Just seems like a big hunk of a dashboard, you know what I mean? A little bit more dynamicness could have been tucked away, some angles.
Yeah, they could take this and kind of split it to the sides and make the screen a little bit bigger, but I mean, we're kind of splitting hairs at this point, right?
No, I mean, I'm impressed.
When you look
cool
at the 3 different design ideas behind GM, Ford, and Ram in terms of how they lay their dash out, Ford was going more for a utilitarian approach, for function in terms of button placement, all of that. GM was going more for a luxurious. They wanted to give you the feel of kind of like a sports car or even a luxury SUV.
Sure.
Like you were in a Tahoe, an Escalade, something like that.
This feels kind of like an Escalade.
Correct. And where Ram went super luxury car, they're trying to go after people who might generally buy a Land Rover or Range Rover or a high-end SUV or car, and they wanted people to have that same feel inside of a Ram truck.
I have not seen the new Rams. We should check those out.
We should.
That's
Maybe
a
in
good
the next
segue.
video.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to wrap this one up. If you guys enjoyed it, shoot a big thumbs up. We'll catch you guys on the next video.